Good day, Lords and Ladies, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity as we continue the DLC. I'm just having a look around some of the places. We've explored most of them. There's a couple left to go and then we'll continue with the main story. Let's see what this guy wants. A dwarf paces with his hands down, his arms crossed, only stopping to hurl glances at the building behind him, his face smeared dark with grime, and soot falls from his beard as he mumbles to himself. Work my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what he kicks at a mound of dirty snow. Start with nothing, leave with less, he extends his arm out. Who are you yelling at? Sorry for your loss. The attack of ogres hurt everyone. Enjoying the taste of misery, are you? Grow a spine. Let's go with that one. The dwarf cocks his head at the side and lifts an eyebrow with a grunt. He reacts and settles into a smile of self-aware irony. You're right. You've got the right of it, and my old self agrees. Well, good riddance. Should have never settled here in the first place. Some things you meant to leave behind. Come and find out you packed them away. But I'm not leaving until I've recovered what's mine. They can't deny me again. Not after this. Awkward gestures to the burnt-out buildings. Those sweet-tongued priests took my heirlooms, buried the memories of my past. They said, now I don't have even that. What priests? The only ones here. They occupied a temple some time ago, picking at desperate folks like vultures. Those priests, Audra's dogs, said the gods were forgiving, that some things are better left to be forgotten. He nods towards a nearby temple. Their leader, Laughter, I believe her words, another one of them, and a gift bearer took my medallion. He closed his eyes and sucks his head into a fist. And now they won't tell me where it is. Zahur, your problem is that you gave meanings to meaningless objects. Here, let me show you something I need. I need one of your rings. Orun draws back his hand, but Zurin gives him a truthful nod. After a moment's hesitation, Orun relents, dropping the jeweled band the Zul in his palms, and immediately Zahur flings it into the lake. See, you are no worse off. Orun's face, already spluttered with pink from the cold, turns a deep shade of crimson, and his mouth puckers as though his head is set to explode. After a tense moment, he breathes slows, and his fists unclenching, original looks of pain, frustration return. What did you want to forget about your past? Let's go with that one. That's a different life, better days, until Orun closes his eyes and shakes his head. Motes of soot fall from his hunt shoulders. It's my burden to bear, not yours. I fought the cost of the way, but the memories I lost were all the wrong ones. What did you give the priests? Let's see. Why won't they tell you? Because they think they know better, that's why I said it was the only way I'd forget. What else did you give the priests? The dwarf casts a misering look at you. He quickly turns his head away and nods. You understand its value, my armour, set finer than I ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I'd traded it for traded it for the medallion, but fool that I was, I gave it them both. They respond better with tact than triads. The dwarf grunts. Sharp metal always used to win my arguments, but I see your point. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it a sacred duty to cast the offerings to the goddess into some place where they'd be forgotten. Better find where they dropped them, I think. What's Laughter's role in all of this? She leads the group of crows. They took over the temple as flocks started to leave, came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery here, they say. Tell me more about this medallion recovered. It belongs to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her. To me, the dwarf casts his gaze down. She was the last last of my family, least that still acted like family to me. I don't expect luck to grace me how, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. He gives a vigorous nod. Right.
Not a problem.
Perhaps I just like this so. Just like this is so.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really. Oh.
The dwarf woman looks at you, disappointed expression on her face, and hands a large rectangular box covered in strange dials and symbols. I get that reaction a lot.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so rude. I'm Ista. I heard we have you to thank for clearing out the ogres. I'm glad Stalwart survived. It would have been a disappointing trip up here otherwise.
What is it, the device that you're holding?
My ore-locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit. My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
Maybe I do have a strong soul.
I suppose that's possible. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, unfortunately.
What are you looking
I'm
for?
trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Pargrin dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype. Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere. I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since.
I'll do it if you pay me for it.
Oh, of course! A real field test is worth the investment. I just have to adjust the device.
Her hands move swiftly over the box, adjusting the knobs and dials.
It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device. Thanks ever so much for this.
Why do I get a feeling this is going to go badly wrong? Right, let's go and talk to these priests. Springs, if we're being honest. Let's see, Audra Sealedman. That's stealing. Audra Sealedman. Cocktail.
Just say the word.
Quextel. Who's he? A young man dressed in study lovers glares at you, the crease of his face tanned despite the scarce sunlight of the region suffers a slight twitch as you approach him. I've got nothing for you, speak of Lifter. If you must, he turns away, his nose wrinkled.
Leave it to me.
Just great. That's stealing as well. Lift the veins cause under the woman's pale skin like icy fissures, yet when she speaks, her voice flows warm and soothing. Audra welcomes you into her embrace. Her features soften with compassion. You're here to ease the pain of your past, ready to take your burdens. With a thin smile, she nods. If you let the goddess help your hardships, of course. I want to ask you about Orkrum's heirloom. I heard worshippers of Barath visited you recently. Little happens around here that doesn't end in the mouth of villagers, but we're obliged to assist everyone regardless of their faith. A group of women came to us, yes. Their leader wanted to know of Durgan's battery. I obliged and pointed them in this direction. They left us quietly as they arrived, which didn't make us any less concerned about their true intentions. This place grows dangerous enough already. I want to talk about Orkrun's heirloom. The dwarf already asked. We gave him the counsel he needed. The slight irritation sharpened her tone. She seems to catch herself, modulating her voice back to a pleasant timbre. And naturally, we do what we can for you too. Ask what you will. Orkrun wants his medallion back. She brings her head together and nods. Orkrun, how often we let the shadows of our past become the burden even to others. That medallion, it weighs on Orkrun's mind. You're kind to help, but what he really needs is to cast away these memories. He lost everything, no right to appeal. How convenient. Isn't that for him to decide? He changed his mind. As a priest, you must listen. No right to appeal. How convenient. It's not like that. The regret that consumes Orkrun is plain for everyone to see. The priestess studies you for a moment. His belongings, his past, now rest in Audra's realm, to be forgotten so that the wounds of the soul may be healed. This is the will of the goddess. Let's suppose Orkrun had moved on. Tell me where his heirloom is. I wonder what the village leader would have you say about that. Aggression 2, the will of mortals or gods has never stopped me before. Ladder's expression breaks and he takes a step back. A cohort reach for their weapons. He immediately raises a hand. No, we are nothing to fear. The ripples of voice quickly calm. There is no need to quarrel over the mysteries of the goddess's will. I will tell you what you wish to know. Orkrun's heirloom was taken by Ixtel, chosen Gothbringer among us, to be cast away as an offering to Audra. Only he knows where it is. She pauses and looks at you intently. You could ask him yourself, but he's on a trek through the mountains to Druin's battery. If you run into Ixtel, tell him he's urgent duties to attend here. It's harder to believe that only the gift bringer knows where Audra's offerings are cast away. Is it? Our goddess frees us from our earthly burdens. It's best if only one of us knows where they are taken, lest we all enter suffering under their weight. Tell me about your gift bringer. Ixtal has a business near Dunn's Battery. The mountains are dangerous. If you insist upon a rock carrying out this request for Orcs Run, then you where I'd search for answers. Let's ask for Audra. Audra is the goddess of redemption, deep link to the oceans and dentals and mothers. She's here to relieve her children of the darkest burdens. I thought Audra was the goddess of loss and mourning, not redemption. That's the priestess crosses her arms, have to wait. Common notion. Others may believe so, but the goddess' mysteries are profound. Her true power lies in redeeming your loss and regret. Right, gift bringers do Audra's most valued work, carrying material burdens, unfortunate souls. Like farewell.
Just
right,
say the word.
so we know where he's gone with this. Whole bunch of quests. My aggressive is still free, so you threatened a priest. As you step aside, the heavy wooden doors of the temple slams up behind you. You hear someone barring it from the other side. It sounds like the priests have engaged in agitated conversation. You get the sense that they're discussing you, but you're also certain that the door is too thick to eavesdrop, for although there may be other places nearby where you can stand a better chance. I can't believe this. How could you? The wind shutters the temple windows closed tight, muffled of set voices coming from within the building. You can't quite make sense of the murmuring, but cracking a shutter open would likely help. A rustle iron latch holds the window shut, closed. With care, you'd be able to unfasten it without being noticed. Carefully begin to lift the latch from its metal hook. Halfway through, the rusty iron resists with a screech. You freeze, listening to the voices in hopes the priest didn't hear. The conversation continues unabrupted. Pour some oil on the latch. You grab a latch and apply the right amount of oil, nudging the metal until its rust gives away without a sound. Carefully, you pull open the window shutter open enough for you to let the voices flow through. You hear a woman speaking, her tone agitated. Do you do that? I hope the mountains will do it. What if X... His sentence cuts off as the man is speaking to all the side. His sentence cuts off as if the man was speaking to all inside the room. Suppose she tells them instead. What then? You have lost an item, oil. You recognize his laughter's voice response. Why would she? With all those dangers near the battery, our gift-bringer won't delay, I expect, the man interrupts her. You always expect. Look where that's taking us. A dying village, ogres at the walls, Ixtal not back yet, and now I have to do his part. His voice drops and seethes. He muffles what he has to say. After a moment, Lifter replies, Do you think I want this, that I wouldn't have known in advance? A pause ensues, and tension growing until the priestess' voice cuts in half. We can't wait for him. We must fish out the last batch quickly. After that, we'll decide. The man responds in a broken voice, barely audible, yet you're only distinguishing the last words. In that Russellwood pond, I'll go. The exchange seems to end. Cautiously, you step away from the window of Udra's temple. Find the gift bringer or search the waters for rust of the rust wood. Okay, that was suspicious. Right, so who's Deuteron? The all bows to adventurers who saved the village. So good of you to visit my humble work, and I am Deuteron. How's business? The gestures to the village around him poor like this place. Not much coin to be made trading in furs and fish. I come to the White March because I assumed there would be no competition, and I have none because there's nothing to compete over here. If you're not making much money out here, why do you stay? His eyes low. I was rather vocal about my inevitable success with my friends and family. If I give up and return with little more than I left, then his hands ball into fists. No, I will not be like that. I will not give up yet. Let's see what you have for sale. Exceptional hunting bow. Tundra clothing. Ring of Deflection, Gauntlets of Accuracy, Ultimate Hat for Alluring Perception. Not bad. So he has actually all the stuff. Oh, that's good to know. Gauntlets of Accuracy plus accuracy. That's not bad. Buckle accuracy when below 50% endurance, defense against disease and poison attacks. Not bad either. But I'm okay right now. But that's good to know to come back to. Longforce Watch, the Deer Wood. One more place to visit.
Just say the word.
Right. Let's pop in here. So there's there's definitely something going, monks. It's all stealing.
It must be soon. 2 days, no more.
Just say the word.
This dwarf is busy staring into the fire, slowly puffing away on his pipe. As you greet him, he visibly startled, and his pipe clatters to the floor.
Sorry. Didn't hear you come in. My ears aren't what they used to be.
He stoops, wincing. He treats his pipe. When he raises again, he has a hand against his side. How did you get injured?
Wasn't the ogres, I can tell you that. Put a few arrows in one of those, and they generally have the good sense to back off. But I've been hunting this wolf for near a year now. A man-eater. Cunning, nasty thing. Every time I get close, it just slips away. The beast has already claimed many lives. The first victim was my son, Saldrin.
Fear-sick looks down at his pipe for a moment, features hardening. Sahir leans in eagerly. Go on. Fear furrows his brow at the moment, but continues anyway.
Got the better of me this last time. Distracted me long enough for one of its kin to turn up. Nearly bit me clean in half. I'm a few weeks out from trying again.
You said this thing was a wolf?
No ordinary wolf. A monster. This creature is big. And I see the signs it leaves behind. The mess it made to the last couple of hunters, and the elk doesn't always finish its meals. Damn thing might be sick. Might have a bullet in its jaw. Something. In any case, it needs to be put down.
Where is this beast?
It roams the russet wood out to the west. Seems to have decided the lake is a good place to find prey. Yeah. It's picked off some scattered ogres from time to time. But mostly it's been going after hunters, travelers.
Can you tell me about your previous encounters?
Nothing to tell. Near misses, all of them. One time he clambered right up the cliffs to avoid my snares. Another time, he chased a bear into my camp. I nearly had him once. I could hear him below, eating, and I had the gun aimed right for him. Until the wind changed. He charged headlong into the tree to get at me. Nearly knocked me off my perch. And when I righted myself, he was gone.
No animal is going to best me, I'll bring it down.
It needs doing. But I warn you, this beast is not to be trifled with. It must make its lair somewhere to the west. If you mean to go there, keep your wits about you. Watch yourself on the mountain. In these lean times, everything looks like prey to something.
Who are you?
I'm Thiersch. I've lived here long enough that Kith have started calling me the Old Hunter. And that's about all I can say for myself.
I have some
Coming
questions.
to your elders for advice, is it? What can I do for you?
Has the legacy struck stalwart as well?
It has. We had some hope in the early days that we'd be spared, isolated as we are. that hope died in a hurry. Not everyone's been so unlucky, of course. You'll see a few pampered sprats around.
Treating them like precious stones won't see them grow up any faster, if at all. Can't you tell me about these ogres? Only that they've been coming down in force again and again, trying to drive us out or kill us outright.
The moment we started looking into Durgan's battery, it was like we'd kicked a hornet's nest. You made a good showing against that last group. Didn't expect you'd be one of the godlike. Then, if anyone was going to turn up here at the ass end of nowhere to save our hides...
Teldor said I should talk to you before heading to Longwat's Falls. A good thing he did. Hot springs north of the road are crawling with Lufgar. I'm surprised Teldor found himself out there. The thing to know about Lagerfair is that they're fast, tolerant to code 2, so try another angle of attack. Something seems to occur to him. He pats his pockets, clenching his pipe beneath his teeth. This will come in handy. Use them if you get them into trouble. He hands you a few sealed bottles. You gain 2 potions of mirrored image. If I'm being honest though, I'd say these beasts are still going to be a challenge for you. You know you'll held your own against those ogres, but it might be wise to wait a spell before taking on those Lagfall. You also had some interesting hunting stories.
Long hours checking snares and waiting out elk, mostly. Used to hunt some of the big ones. Bear, stelgare. But up here, it comes down to necessity. Which means keeping Stalwart fed, or else keeping it safe. Thing is, the last hunt didn't go so well. As you can see.
What can you tell me about Stalwart?
Well, I can tell you it won't be here much longer if things go on as they are. With the mines closed, we've lost what put us on the map in the first place. We're losing people every month. Too many mouths to feed and not enough to support them. Even the game's dwindling. I've been lucky. I've hides and horns enough to keep the traders happy, but now the ogres are picking the rest of us off.
That's all the question I had. Farewell.
Just say the word.
So, a whole host of the thermal pearl.
Just say the word.
Does everyone else see that kraken?
I was hoping there was going to be something in the hot springs. Right. Okay. So this is the way to the Rustwood. I'm probably going to go that way because I want to know what's happening with these people. I get the feeling that the church is up to no good. Deerwood, Starlet Village, Rustwood, Durgan's Battery. Right, we'll go to Russet Wood. Take us 8 hours. When targeting attacks. Okay.
Just say the word.
Winter Wolf. Winter Wolf. This wolf lies in the snow, panting with exhaustion and pain. An arrow has pierced its foreleg, jutting gruesomely from the animal's flank. The wolf growls softly as you approach. Examine the wound. The wolf appears to have crossed a hunter's path. A silver arrow has pierced the wolf's leg. The state of the fletching suggests the wolf tried to gnaw it off. Try to remove the arrow. The wolf goes still as you first, but the moment you lay hands on the injury, it begins thrashing in pain. You yelping in pain, it snaps at your hand and then lunges towards you. Ah well. Sucks to be you. Silver arrow. This tentative silver arrow has survived its stay on the wolf's flank. Holding the arrow makes the hairs rise on the back of your hand. But if I'd had the hunter with us, that probably wouldn't have happened. But I didn't. Right, let's have a look about. That's the lake, apparently. Ice blight, so this is going to be fun. Okay, I don't have many spells. Ouch, that hurt. Okay. Let's see what we've got. I don't have many. Oh, we have fireball though. Right, that hits. Durgan's already... Okay. God, these guys are annoying. Right. Let's just keep punching it for now. Okay, so his weapon isn't helping. Great.
The fight is ours.
So what has he got? Weakened knee. That's movement speed,
Just
so it's
say the
not
word.
too bad.
Just say the word.
So let's just check the encyclopedia bestiary. Where's blights? Ice blight, there we go. So, damage reduction, crossing, they're immune to crossing damage, burning -5, and freezing they're immune to. Okay. That's going to be a pain.
Just say the word. Just say the word.
Right. Let's just keep looking for a little bit. Okay. Okay. Right, we're into the encounter. No, sorry, wrong. He's in the wrong place. Oh, that's just gonna suck. Sorry, wrong place.
Just say the word.
Okay. Get that done. Get that done. Why is everybody sliding all over the place? Right. Getting really sick of these bugs. Keep shooting it. Priest, pop your ability. No, pop your ability.
That's...
Yeah.
Man, that was nasty. Oh, that can go in the back in the box. But this is where we're going to end it for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, you can leave a comment in the comment section and I'll get back in contact with you. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Pillars of Eternity with me, Gwen Ravenheart, and Space Pig. And I shall see you all next time. Goodbye, folks.